not even allowed on Mars. That's the future I believe in. We all got a little John Boone in our hearts, you know? That's the future I believe in. We'll just see about that, John thought. But he didn't want to make Arcady laugh again, so he didn't say it. And it's happening everywhere on Mars, Arcady said. Around them, clouds of Arcadies waved their hands, waved their arms, looking like a Tibetan mandala of red-haired demons. And naturally, there are people who notice what's going on. Or I tell them. And this is what you must understand, John. There are people who will fight to keep things the way they are. There are people who loved the feel of a life as a scientist primitive so much that they will refuse to give it up without a fight. So the sabotages. Yes, perhaps some of them were done by these people. It is counterproductive, I think. But they don't agree. Mostly, the sabotage is done by people who want to keep Mars the way it was done, oh my god. Mostly the sabotage is done by people who want to keep Mars the way it was before we arrived. I am not one of those. But I am one of those who will fight to keep Mars from becoming a free zone to transnational mining. To keep us all from becoming happy slaves for some executive class, walled in its fortress mansion. He faced John, and out of the corner of his eye, sabotage. And out of the corner of, he faced John, and out of the corner of his eye, And out of the corner of his eye, John saw around them an infinity of confrontations. Don't you feel the same? Don't you feel the same? I do, actually. John grinned. I do. I think if we disagree, it's mostly on a matter of methods. What methods do you propose to use? Well, basically, I want to get the treaty renewed as it stands, and then adhered to. If that happens, then we'll get what we want. Or at least have a basis for getting full independence. At least. The treaty will not be renewed, Arcady said flatly. It will take something much more radical to stop these people, John. Direct action. Yes, don't you look so unbelieving. Seizure of some property, or of the communication system. I thought it was Hiroko doing the sabotage. Or Anne. This is like Death Note or something, dude. I feel like Light and L are talking. Is it just me? I feel like that's what's happening. No spoilers. Except John is John. obviously. Okay, so direct action. Yes, you don't look so don't you look so unbelieving. Seizure of some property or of the communication system. The institution of our own set laws, backed by everyone here out in the streets. Yes, John, yes. It will come to that. Because there are guns under the table. Mass demonstration and insurrection is the only thing that will beat them. History shows this. Okay, now I don't know. I don't know for sure. Maybe Arcady's being honest that he thinks the sabotage is too far. He's like, you don't have to sabotage. You have to seize. Okay, so, alright. I feel like John now. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not you. Everyone's playing chess and I'm playing checkers. There are guns under the table. Mass demonstration and insurrection is the only thing that will beat them. History shows this. 1,000,000 Arcadies clustered around John, looking graver than any Arcady he could ever remember seeing. So grave that the blossoming rose of John's own face exhibited a regressive expression of slack-jawed concern. He pulled his mouth shut. I'd like to try my way first. Part 6 of the book is titled Guns Under the Table. No. Han Solo, no. I'd like to try my way first, he said, which made all the Arcadies laugh. John gave him a playful shove on the arm, and Arcady went to the floor, and then pushed off and tackled him. They wrestled while they could keep contact. Oh my god, this is just like it's a weird parallel to the sex scene with Maya. They wrestled while they could keep contact, and then flew away to opposite sides of the chamber. In the mirrors, millions of them flew away into infinity. After that, they went back to the subway and to dinner in Semenov. Can't spell Semenov without semen. If you read the book, if you think, when would you then read? Dude, this is so intentional. You can't spell they're Semenov. Okay, DNA spirals. I just picked that out of the next page. Or out of the next line. Oh my god. Dude. After that, they went back to the subway and to dinner in Semenov. As they ate, they looked up at the surface of Mars, swirled like a gas giant. Suddenly, it looked to John like a great orange cell, or embryo, or egg. Chromosomes whipping about under a mottled orange shell. A new creature waiting to be born. Genetically engineered for sure. And they were the engineers. Still working on what kind of creature it would be. They were all trying to clip the genes they wanted. Their own. onto plasmids and insert them into the planet's DNA spirals to get the expressions they wanted from the new chimerical beast. Chimerical beast. Yes. And John liked much of what Arcady wanted to put into it. Guys, I'm reading it for the plot, I swear. But he had liked his own ideas as well. They would see who managed to create more of the genome in the end. Help. He glanced at Arcady, who was also looking up at the sky-filling planet, and with the same grave expression that had been on his face in the Hall of Mirrors. It was a look that had been impressed on John very accurately and very powerfully, he found. But in a weird, multiple, fly's vision format. Ugh, the end. Okay, that was us hanging out with Arcady. That was really fun. Thank you, chat. Thank you, viewer. Dude, I like how KSR implicitly compares reproduction in mirrors to actual reproduction later in the section. Dude, I didn't even get that. Thank you. That's awesome.